Hi Nandini, welcome to LegalEdge 3Years LLB YouTube channel. Good to finally have you on board. And even though, so it's like a very standard question that I ask my students, knowing they do not really have an answer to it, but how does it feel to finally have an acceptance from NLSIU Bangalore?
Well, first of all, it's good to be on the channel. And like you said, there's not really an answer, but I feel really good, really exhilarating. And I mean, there's still a perfectionist part of me that's like, I could have done better, but I'm happy with the result I got.
I know. All those sessions, calls, I understand that you're somebody who like really pushes yourself and you want to outperform yourself every time. So I think that's a great trait to have and something that'll push you a lot in your law school as well. But before we dive on to, knowing the story that you have an acceptance from NLS, but you'll still not be joining next this year, and that you've already started preparing for NLSAT 2027. Just tell us, just walk the audience through a little bit about yourself. When did you start? How did you come across NLSAT, graduation, background basically.
So, my journey into law was basically after 12th, after I completed my 12th class. So, I was looking for like career options in colleges and all that. So, I got to know about law. Uh, I got to know about CLAT first of all. So, I gave CLAT that year. I actually did get two colleges, but I didn't take admission into it for some personal reasons. And then I got admission into DU. So I started my BCom honors from Delhi University, and I'm currently in my last year of that. And I wanted to get into law again, so I researched all the 3-year LLB options that are there, and again, like NLSIU Bangalore was on the top of that list. So I was like, I'm gonna go for this again.
I mean, I think so. You, Dhwani, Ayush, and a couple of other students. It's never too late for the dream. Very inspiring stories that you could not get into NLS back then when you guys appeared for CLAT, and but nevertheless, you never really gave up on that dream, and you guys still give it a shot, and you guys would be joining NLS. When did you start preparing? And I so since you're already interested in law and you did your research, when did you start preparing and then your journey once you started your preparation?
So for NLSAT 2026, I started preparation from I think around July 2025. I joined LegalEdge around July 2025, and I've been pretty consistent all throughout my preparation. Except for the part when I had my graduation exam. So that was a little bit of a dip, but I felt like I got back on track pretty quickly.
Yes, I remember. I think the best part about it is you're extremely consistent. You were very consistent with taking mocks time and again. You were very receptive of feedback. So I think consistency gets boring, but something that you always dealt with, and you kept on improving mock after mock and class after class, session after session. How was the experience with Ellie?
Like, the experience was pretty good. It was kind of a different experience than the offline classes because when I was preparing for CLAT back when I learned about law first, I was taking offline classes at the South X Center of Delhi. So I was already kind of familiar with the legal edge ecosystem.
Yes.
So I knew that if I wanted to prepare again, I would come back to LE. So the online classes were pretty great. I got in touch with a lot of new faculty, and Shubhi ma'am was very helpful with the feedbacks. I mean, I remember giving my first mock, and it was so terrible. But then again, the mentors kind of reassured me. They were like, "It's okay. You just have to practice, and you'll get better slowly over time." And yeah, that actually happened. And I used to track my progress in an Excel sheet. And the classes, I like the highlight of my week were the classes with you, the essay and
Answer writing.
case study classes we used to have. So like I would just write quickly and then take photos and send it on the chat. So
I
like
think that's a
have
fun experience.
you read out the answers in the class? I was like, yes, finally.
I think I really enjoy my answer writing classes with all of you because I think we go beyond just practicing answer writing because a lot of intellectual discussions discourse. I'm always very surprised with the kind of thoughts that you guys or kind of value addition that you guys make it to any topic, any discussions. Interestingly, last answer writing yesterday with my students, we were discussing AI and technology, and it's just it's very inspiring, also motivating, also because I have to keep leveling up because you guys add a lot of value. So the answer writing classes are always extremely fun. Uh, which now let's address, I think, the big question that you when you have and you have an acceptance from NLS, but you will not be joining NLS this year, and have already started preparing for 2027.
Yeah, so it's kind of a story. So I was supposed to give one of my semester 5 exams in December, and I actually missed that because it was clashing with some other exam that I was preparing for. So I gave that exam, but I didn't qualify that exam, and I missed my semester 5 exams. So like NLS has that policy that you have to have all of your exams cleared by the 31st of December. So I won't be able to do that. I mean, I did contact the university and like sent a lot of emails, but yeah, they're not going to take my exams earlier.
Yes, I think it's a big takeaway and learning for a lot of students out there to have all documents in place. So NLS gives you time up till December. So I think the session starts somewhere around July, but they give you time up till December to submit all documents. So all everyone attending the session, guys, please take note that you should have all your documents in place, and so that you join NLS and it's you're not missing out on it at the cost of degree. But nevertheless, I'm pretty certain basis your performance, your hard work, all your hustle, that you will make it to NLS next year as well.
I mean, for the people who are listening that like learn from my mistakes, but it was a calculated risk and I took that risk, so I don't really regret it. But
And I
I
think
like,
that's the
yeah,
whole point because
I can
I think
do better next time.
yes, and you will do better next time. I have like utmost faith. I think while we were having this discussion also, so when you had informed me that, so of course, there were a lot of mentorship discussions. They were very through and through connected. And while on one of our calls, we were like, them that even if I like clear, I wouldn't be able to join this year. But I really want to give the exam and see because I will nevertheless be appearing next year as well. So the kind of student that you are and the amount of effort that you put in, I have high hopes and like manifesting that we'll be doing this interview next year as well. So for all students who will be appearing for NLSAT 2027, of course you have your own learnings and you'll be implementing them for your preparation as well, but suggestions for them.
So the suggestions are like pretty basic. I would say just be consistent with your classes and listen to your mentors and give mocks regularly. And one more thing that I read a lot. I'm a really avid reader. Just to my right, there is a whole bookshelf filled of with books. So that helps with your writing and with obviously your answer writing and case studies and all that. And it also helps increase your reading speed. Reading is not a habit that you can develop like in the last 2 to 3 months before the exams. Like you have to develop it slowly. So I would suggest everyone to read. Other than newspapers, also like you can read fiction or self-help books, whatever you prefer.
I think extremely important that NLSAT is an examination. It demands, you have to build skills, answer writing, reading, stamina. So the earlier you start, you get an edge. Otherwise, the same thing happens. I know we all of us were like behind your lives that it's okay semester examination, but you have to regularly take mocks and everything. So then I think a lot of pressure is off your shoulders once you start preparing early because the nearer you are to the examination, self-doubt creeps in. You're struggling with XYZ things in your life. The earlier you start, you're technically buying time as a currency, luxury for yourself. So I think very interestingly highlighted, and to take mocks regularly. All attending the session, Nandini was extremely consistent with mocks. I remember like so we continue to send like a lot of reminders to our students that please take mocks because it's like Mocks, they don't just test you, they train you. 20% mock, 80% analysis. You were extremely consistent with mocks time and again, and you've worked on feedback as well. Thank you so much, Nandini. It's always fun to interact with you. And like anything to conclude that you would want to highlight?
I think the entire journey was in a highlight of itself. See, like I can't really articulate it that well, but the process of learning and then implementing and then actually giving the exam and seeing the result on your screen. It's the day I saw my result, it was a really euphoric feeling for me. So
I
it's something that you can just experience for yourself.
Yeah, and I think of course all of us are nevertheless preparing to get into our dream law schools, but the journey itself, I am always reminded of the Jitu Bhaiya line that tayari hi jeet hai. So the journey itself is extremely rewarding because by the time you'll complete this journey, you're better well read, you're more articulate, and you just so with LE online ecosystem is something that I tell my students, and I think you guys must have experienced as well, that it's online ecosystem with offline like discipline. Because you have like your classes set, your mock test set, your mentorship session set. So that discipline is there. Plus, I think I had a lot of fun taking classes for you guys and with you guys because these were extremely rich in discussions. It's always super fun.
Yeah. In the offline class, like you actually have to be there for the class, you have to be there for the mocks. Like there is a set schedule for you. But in the online ecosystem, I feel like that you have to learn to discipline yourself. You have to be there, open your laptop, sit for the class. Like no one is going to the mentors can obviously send you reminders and all, but ultimately you have to do that, right?
Have to be motivated enough. And I think
Yeah.
that's also a key that in instances where you're actually losing that motivation, you should always come back to your mentors, talk to them about it. So, I mean, the mentorship is extended beyond just academic, but we're there to just root for you personally as well. On that note, Nandini, thank you so much. I am manifesting today that I'll be interviewing you next year as well, and right after NLSAT results. Preparation is in full swing, that's for sure. The little lag that I highlighted a couple of days ago, that Nandini, I want to see you in classes consistently.
Yeah.
So, but all the best, Nandini. It's always super, super fun. And yeah, uh, again, we'll see you next year super soon.
Thank you,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you.